Welcome back to Hokma Crafted Life. Guys, I don't typically do this style of video, but maybe I'll do them more often. When I find a product that I like, I typically will share it with my friends and family, let people know what I think, tell them that they should go buy it as well. And I thought, why not go ahead and shoot a video about it? I just got back a Nomatic 20-liter bag that I got back from warranty. I've had my original one for over 2 years, and I love it. It's got a ton of storage, works perfect for me. Also looks pretty decent for business style, so when you're going into a meeting or whatever, it doesn't look like you just have a backpack, right? So the big thing for me is the warranty right now. That is one of the main reasons I'm really happy with this company. I had to exchange mine because on this section right here, there's a little bar that popped out, started protruding. I had just put some electrical tape on mine and repaired it just to get by. A buddy of mine at work also had a similar backpack, and he's like, you know they have a lifetime warranty, right? And I'm like, they do? They do. So I looked it up. It was super simple. They sent me a label to send my bag back, and then they sent me a brand new one. It took about a week, so I was down. I had to use this backpack over here in the meantime, but I figured I would go through why I like this backpack so much, why it works better for me. I have this Peak Design one as well. I like it okay. There's some things like there's this pocket down here I don't necessarily trust. It's magnetic, but you can stuff a jacket in there. It's also got some straps so you can tie stuff on the top. This backpack is more for a style of if you're gonna be going backpacking or hiking or something like that. I think it works a little better for that. It is a travel backpack, so you could use it for a decent carry-on, but this is also that with some expansion. I like that one a lot better, but otherwise, the main separation for me is the storage pockets for the stuff that I typically use for my laptop, for my iPad, for all those cables that you got to carry around. The storage on this one is just much better, whereas this one I feel is lacking. It's just got the smaller pocket up here, but on the inside, you have to open it completely up to get to all the intricate storage spots, whereas this one, you can get to all the intricate storage spots right on the front. So again, I've been living with the previous one for about 2 years. I love it. I've gone on tons of business trips. I've used it as a carry-on for some shorter trips, and I just have my laptop and everything in it at all times anyways. This is my daily carry. It's what I take to work, what I take all of my laptop, my iPad, my notepads, my books, Bible study, all that kind of stuff is all in here. One thing I will point over to this Peak Design that I think was a little better is how easy these straps stow. They just flip around and tuck. So if that's something that you're looking to be able to do, that actually works much better on this Peak Design. So that's one area that Nomatic could improve on, but outside of that, I still prefer the Nomatic. So in order to tuck these straps, you actually have to come and pop these buttons that are on either side here, and it's not ideal. They're not quick to get to, and especially to snap, but you pop them off, and then the straps will tuck like that. And so if you're in the middle of an airport, which is most likely why I think you would be doing this, is you're wanting to stow them when you put it on your rollaway luggage. Again, not very quick. You could do it, but if you're running behind in an airport or something like that, it's not gonna be ideal. This does have a slip pocket to be able to put it on your carry-on luggage as well. So when you're rolling through the airport, this can go right on there. The handle comes right up through here. Super convenient. It's got nice side handles as well. Plenty of touch points to pick this thing up from whatever way you're sitting down or whatever. If you need to quickly get up and go, it's got plenty of access there. On the back, you do have a connection strap through the middle. So if you're doing, for some reason, a longer hike with it, this isn't the kind of backpack that I would do hiking with, but it does have that for taking some of that extra weight off of your core there. But it also has a hidden pocket here where you could stash probably some cash or something like that. I have never used it, but it is there if that makes sense for you. As I had mentioned with these water bottles, mine originally had this error. It looks like they've actually changed the design right here from my original one. So maybe that's been corrected. It looks like it has, so that's good. Everything else is identical. With the water bottle holders, they're a magnetic, so they snap closed like that, all with magnets. and then they fold open, and you can fit some pretty good sized water bottles in here. They expand. I regularly will stuff a Yeti coffee mug in here. It's one of those 20-liter mugs. Will stick in there really well, but otherwise smaller ones work perfect as well. On the front, the first pocket you have here is typically where I'll put a bunch of quick access things that I need. Pins are typically what's there, or anything else that you just need really quick access is right up top. It is a fleece lined. There's also a cord pocket if you had any type of headphones or a power pack or something like that that's in your bag that you need the cable running out. There's also a whole pass through in there. Kind of hard to see, but I typically just fill that with my pens. Again, it is microfiber, so if you need anything that doesn't get scratched, you can use that. From there, this is by far my favorite pocket and my most used pocket of the whole backpack. These are the pockets that I mainly use. I will put my brick for my laptop, the cable for my laptop all in one pocket. Another pocket, I'll put my cable for my iPad. I'll put the cable for my notepad, backup cables, peripheral cables, things to be able to connect to USB or HDMI or thing like that. Any of those peripheral adapters, I typically will shove them there. And then it also has down here a notebook pocket where you can just slip a notebook in there. And then plenty of other pockets down here as well. You also have 2 pen holders. I typically don't use those. Again, it's just much easier for me to get my pens from there, but I'm able to keep everything in here stored very quick and easy to access. I know exactly where I'm gonna find it, and I don't have to open the whole backpack to get to it. I just have to open this front pocket, and it's super quick. From there, you get into the main pocket, and the whole thing just folds open. All right, from here, this is that pass-through cable that I was talking about. So if you had a brick or something like that for power, you could put that in here. You have some storage pockets for any extra stuff. It also comes with a crush-proof case for your sunglasses right here. Little sleeve in that as well. Just a nice addition. They don't need to include that, but they do. Pocket back here. There's also a slinky extender. You can put your keys on there. Nice way to store them. I never use it, but you have some pockets there as well. Back here you can see kind of your traditional luggage mesh where you can pack clothes back behind this. And this is where it starts to look like regular luggage. Not ideal to necessarily get to it from this point until it's expanded. So let's go ahead and get it expanded. So if you're going to be using this as a carry-on, it actually is pretty good. It's a 20-liter when you first start out. And then right here on the side, you have this zipper. This goes all the way around the entire backpack. 360 on the backpack there. And once it is open, this whole thing expands out, and that's where they're calling it a 30-liter backpack. From here, you also have zippers at this point that you can open up, and the whole thing will fold open. As if it was a carry-on luggage. So this is where the mesh really comes in. You can pile stuff into this part here. This is your main compartment of the backpack. So if you're putting books or any of that kind of stuff, you'll now be loose in there. So if you were to open this front pocket, you would have access to that. But you could also stow stuff right behind here. Typically, I will expand it, and then I will access from this front pocket using that mesh to hide everything behind there. So with it stowed like this, you're able to open this mesh, fill it all in, and then zip up the mesh, and you have everything really sealed behind there like your typical carry-on luggage. While it's open, it also has one of the slinky pockets where you could, stick some shoes or something like that. I typically will put in some flip-flops or whatever, depending on which trips I'm going on. But plenty of room for a couple days going light and still having my laptops and stuff in there as well. And with that, let's close it back up and let's talk about the laptop pocket. So, and you can totally leave the bag like this, expand it out if you're using that space in the middle there. If you're using it as a camera bag or something like that, maybe you need that extra space, you totally can do that. I don't. I keep mine actually zipped up and closed unless I am traveling and need that extra space. That's the other thing. I travel with a carry-on and most of the time that's packed out. If I end up going on a trip and then I'm coming back and I have extra stuff I got to bring back with me, whether it's memorabilia or whatever, souvenirs, I can use this. I'm able to expand it and I'm able to get a lot more stuff in here. But this is typically how I leave it. And then on to the back where the laptop is. This also folds out. They say that this is a way that you might be able to get through TSA checkpoints if you're not clear, pre-clear for getting through without taking out your laptops and stuff. Your laptop would be over here. Technically, it's separated from your space. So some agents, they say, would allow it. I've never come across any that would allow that. You typically have to take it out. But if you're clear, you don't have to do that, of course. But otherwise, it folds out completely to get full access. You've got a pocket here. You can put a book, or you can put another iPad style thing or whatever else. It's also not super tight back here, so you have plenty of space to put some stuff in between. You just want to be mindful of it not being completely unzipped to be able to make sure those things don't just fall out. But inside this pocket, you've got a little Velcro here, and then you've got a microfiber, like a fleece in here. This is where my laptop goes, your laptop would go, of course, and the front pocket, you have an option to put like an iPad or a notepad, and that's, typically I have an iPad, a laptop, and a notepad that goes right here. So I would put my laptop and my iPad in the big pocket, and then my notepad goes in this pocket. Or depending, sometimes they go out here, however you deck out your backpack, it's got plenty of pockets to support. Guys, again, I love this backpack. It's been really good to me over the last 2 years. I wasn't even thinking about replacing it, even with that hole. But when I found out they had a lifetime warranty, I had to try it. And again, it was just so easy. They sent me the label, paid for it. I put it in a box, shipped it off. They approved it, no questions asked, sent me my brand new one, and here we are. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and load it out with all of my gear. And transfer back over. So on this Peak Design one, again, all you have is this tiny pocket. It ends right here. So that's why I don't necessarily like it. You got a little pocket there, some cable pockets. This is not quite enough for me to be able to use quickly. I like this big pocket. With it open like that, I have plenty of space to put everything. So in mine, I typically have some study material, books I'm reading or Bible study material as well. I can stuff those right up there. They say this is a notebook pocket. And of course, I always have my Bible with me. I'm able to put my Bible right up in the top here or down in the bottom if I'm not carrying other books, and everything actually closes up perfect for me. Like I said, with pens and such, I just put all of that stuff, highlighters, any of that stuff, I typically just throw it right up here where I can quickly access it. And some of this stuff I don't necessarily need to grab as often, but I like to know where it's at. I could even expand this a little better, put some stuff that I'm really not using too often. It could go in some other pockets. I like to keep this front section flat without having just a bunch of stuff in there. So I typically don't use this side. I use everything on this side, and that just works really well for me. So there's that front pocket. Onto the back. Again, some study material can go right in the back here. So here's my notepad. And that can go right in here. This pocket up front is actually big enough for an iPad Pro. And then the laptop, but otherwise my iPad, since I have that notepad that goes in that one, I typically will put my iPad right here with this one. And as I mentioned, even with that stuff in here, right here, it's a little inflated because of the jacket that I put inside there, but even right here you have some room. Typically I'll put some papers that I need to keep straight without creasing them, or folders. I'll put that in here. Anything that I need to keep nice for a presentation or whatever, I'll have those just right in here, or even in with the laptop or something like that. But there is plenty of room. Again, laptop, iPad, notepad, I carry all of that. My Bible, it's not a small Bible either. Study material. I carry this stuff around with me every single day. All right, and that's it, right? So the one thing I don't necessarily like about this backpack, it is a little short. There's a 14 liter that's even shorter, so that one would totally not make sense for me. The one thing that maybe this I liked a little better is it a little taller, so it looks a little more fitting for my frame. This one can look a little short. If you're a really tall guy, this one might look short. For a backpack that also can double as business focused and look the part, look like a briefcase, not look cheap. Honestly, if you're in a suit, still gonna look nice. That's the Nomatic 20 liter travel bag. I love it, guys. Again, the company, the fact that they've got a lifetime warranty, awesome. I don't know if there's any limitations as far as how it happened or any of that, but it's on their website. I'm not vouching for that piece. I just know that with the little tear I had on mine, it was happening on both sides. And again, it looks like they've corrected it, but no questions asked. They sent me a brand new one. I'm stoked to be using this backpack again. A week off was rough. So I'm really happy to be back into it. I've got so many backpacks that I've gone through trying to find the right one for me. This is still the best one, especially the fact that you can expand it and use it as a carry-on. Can't really beat that. Still business function. It's just fantastic. I still take it hunting with me. It'll be right there in the rig with me, just in case I need any of my work stuff to check in with anybody. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you have any comments, questions, or anything you wanted to add to it, or any other backpacks I should be on the lookout for that you think are even better than this, any other feedback you guys have, please put that in there as well. I reply to all of them. Again, I appreciate you watching my content. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on a future video. Thanks.